Hey coaches, good morning. It's Coach Bells. I've been asked to do a couple video series on how to effectively run the football. I want to keep this simple. I want it to be multi-part, but at the same time, I kind of want to cover some basic bullets here on what to do as a coach and how to effectively teach. I think these are philosophical and they're very important, and I want to cover them before we get into the ins and outs of implementing a run attack. Okay, first, number one, kids, community, parents, faculty at school. Okay, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares that you were a Division I player, you played in the NFL, you were the fastest guy on your team, you were a state champion in wrestling when you're in high school. They don't care about that. What the kids care about is what's the dessert after dinner? Am I going to get a new Xbox? Are my friends going to want to go outside after my homework and play football because I want to be like the guy on TV? Community. The community does not care about all those things. The community cares about, is their head coach a good leader in sending this football program in the right direction? Parents, what do they care about? They care about the simple things. Is my child safe? Is he having fun? Okay? Is he in good hands? Is he learning some discipline? Is he getting better grades? You need to keep these things simple in your mind, and you need to understand that these groups up here, kids, community, parents, and faculty, are going to play a role in your success. Okay? How they see you, how they view you, how you carry yourself in front of them matters. You need to make sure that you have two ears open and one mouth. Use the ears before you use the mouth. As it pertains to parents, it's important to have the parents sign contracts. Have them sign the dotted line, what they're getting their kids involved with. Their kids do not have to be a part of the football team. But if they choose to be a part of this football team, they are going to follow the rules. That applies to the kids, to the parents. Have things in your agreement like, do not interrupt my practice. Have things in your agreement that they need to set a specific time to see the coach in private quarters and discuss differences of opinion. You need to work those things out and then have a meeting before the season with the parents to talk about those things. That way you avoid problems in your season. Okay? Number two, coaching staff. When you're selecting coaches, it is important that you select coaches that are like-minded. They don't have to be exactly like you, but they have to share a common philosophy. And what I mean by that is they have to share a philosophy of toughness. They have to share a philosophy of discipline, grades, how to be a good mentor and a leader to the kids. Those things are non-negotiable. Okay, you can't have people diddy-bopping around the football field, setting a bad example, making the coaching staff look weak, because that's not going to work in your overall philosophy. Quiz, drill, and teach your staff. Okay, have weekly exams and tests and things like that. Make sure that your coaching staff, make sure they're students of the game, that they are constantly learning. Because remember, they are an extension of your philosophy out on the field. Okay, number three, simple is better. Less is more. Less is more. Simple is better. Okay? It's better that a kid know 3 things and do it tougher than his neighbor than to know 10 things that he can't do right. Okay? Just a fact of life. Nothing's changed there. I think that philosophy's been around in a lot of different endeavors for a very, very long time. Just don't keep it simple with your kids. Keep it simple with your coaches. Reiterate the same thing over and over. Okay? Keep it simple with the community, parents, and faculty. Make sure you speak few words but mean what you say, and make sure that they understand clearly what you're trying to say and what you stand for. Teach toughness. Teach toughness in the classroom. Teach toughness inside and outside the classroom. Teach toughness constantly. If you ask your kids to go in the locker room and pick up, you make sure it's done with aggression. Make sure it's done with toughness. Make sure that they understand the role that they play in this team. Okay? Take great pride in everything that we do. Okay? Learn terms, history, student of the game. I can't stress this enough. Okay? I don't know how many times I've ran into terrible coaches. There's a lot of bad coaches. There's a lot more bad coaches than there are really, really, really good coaches. I know that. I'm not going to split hairs over why it is and why it's that way, but it just is. Okay? Just like in the classroom. Top 10% get A's, the rest get lower grades. Just like in sports, top 10% win titles, the rest kind of float around. It's the same with coaches. Coaches are not typically, from what I've seen, very passionate and motivated about learning the history of the game, why the game's evolved the way it did, and why we've arrived at these formations and what we've learned from our past leaders. So be a student of the game. Know the history, okay? It's a really good DVD set that I bought probably 10 years ago, narrated by Burt Reynolds, Rites of Passage or Rites of Autumn. 5 discs. I mean, it goes back 100 years to Amos Alonzo Stagg all the way through the ages to Notre Dame, Bear Bryant, John McKay, Bobby Bowden, all the great dynasties. It's a really good blend of X's and O's, philosophy, history. Goes through the whole race problems in America through those years. Some of the coaches that were instrumental in overcoming some of that, the players that broke through barriers. It's a very good set. I'm not plugging it. I don't even know who made it, but I bought it at Costco 10 years ago. But it was a great DVD set. I watch it occasionally here and there when people are out of town and there's nothing else going on. So here's the 5 basic steps that I recommend all coaches kind of consider and really pay attention to, okay, before they actually get into breaking down and understanding scheme, okay? So this is going to be part 1. We're going to get into part 2. I'm going to start off with part 2 with man blocking and the number system. That number system is going to be very simple. It's going to be very easy to follow. It's going to be very easy to teach your players. It's going to be even easier to teach your coaching staff. And if you rep it out enough times, you will be successful in it, okay? But if your kids aren't tough and you don't keep it simple, you won't be successful in anything you do. So thanks for listening. Hit a like on Football Everything and look forward to the next episode.